station, its management, or other hosts or advertisers. The show, found on the Powerhouse radio station, can promote any lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to treat, diagnose, and or claim any cure of disease or conditions. Opinions stated by various contributors to the Powerhouse Radio and its programming are not to be considered as endorsed by the Powerhouse Radio station. Visitors are urged to use their own discernment to draw their own conclusion. We emphasize the importance of keeping an open mind. You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean.
Victorious 89.1 WAKP.
Your unity in the community station.
Yeah. You listen to the sounds of DJ Fourth Quarter in your ear right now. If you're in your car, if you're at home, if you're on your phone, let's gripe, baby.
Driving home and you're feeling kinda tired. Hey, radio play the same thing every day. So you need a little switch in your life. Traffic got you jammed up every night. Tune in to Powerhouse. Wednesday 7 to 9, you need to check them out. I promise I ain't trying to hype, but one good listen tonight, it might change your life. So what's the name of the show? You need something to just ride to on the go. Or you might be home, so log on. You can even dial in on your phone. I promise that you're gonna love it. Just try it one time, it'll blow your mind. Now I'ma say it just one more time. Every Wednesday from 7 to 9.
Let's gripe. Let's gripe. Let's gripe. Let's gripe. Let's gripe.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for listening and tuning in at the powerhouseradio.com. Let's gripe. And of course, the Victorious Radio, WAKP 89.1 FM. Yes, Marcus, you did miss that. Look, McKenna, you see Marcus' face like, oh yeah, we forgot to send you that memo like you forgot to send us that memo. Yes, welcome everyone for tuning in this Wednesday, March 2nd. Of course, it's your girl, TONIA.
And this is McKenna.
And this is MG coming in on some big news.
We are live on the radio, sir.
Yes, sir. While you was cooking in the oven, the Powerhouse has also had some stuff in the mix. Yes, honey. Yes.
Well, wonderful. Congratulations to everybody then. Everybody involved. That's what's up.
Yes. I think we had two excitements last week. The announcement of your bundle of joy, Marcus, and of course, being a part of the family at the Victorious Radio, WAKP 89.1 FM. So we were just overexcited. We handle it. We handled all the good news last week, and congratulating you, and then of course, the Powerhouse Radio. So yeah. I'm sorry. I think, we forgot to tell you like you forgot to tell us, but maybe that'll be my gripe later. But hey guys, again, thank you so much for tuning in this Wednesday. So hey guys, besides Mark is just, coming back in. So where we going to start at tonight? Let's go on and start with some good news.
Well, Tonya, just remind all of our listeners what Let's Gripe is all about, because we may have some new listeners now that we're on the radio.
Well, I think, McKenna, you'd be good to be the one to announce it,
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
for those of you who are new to Let's Gripe, we are a talk show and we gripe it up. So gripe is not necessarily a bad thing. We share our opinions and we're an adult show, so we cover all kinds of topics and we like to chop it up. We like to gripe it up, but we also like to keep it positive. So we hope that you tune in and enjoy the show this evening. And welcome back, MG. It's great to see you.
It's great to be back. I know we're going to have an exciting show for everyone. I kind of missed out on a little bit of Black History Month a little bit, as I was actually watching a skit that made me feel kind of bad. I guess this is my little gripe, is that they asked, it was on one of those street videos where guys said he asked people, like, what have you done to celebrate Black History Month? And I thought about it and I was like, I kind of don't know. I don't know if I've done enough. So that would kind of be my question to you guys. I mean, now that we've, I guess, the official Black History Month, we try to celebrate it 365. But do you guys feel like you've done enough for Black History Month?
I will say that I don't think that I did enough. I did at the beginning of the month look for activities to participate in. I wasn't as satisfied with the list because I felt like there weren't as many things this year as maybe in the past. And part of that could have been just because we're still kind of post pandemic, right at the cusp of post pandemic. Um, but one thing that I did do is um, I made a list of all of the different African American museums throughout the country. And I didn't realize that there were several, in different states. There are probably over 30 African American museums throughout the nation. And so I did make a list of those, and it is on my to-do list to at least visit one or two. I mean, we have a couple right here in the Atlanta area, but right up the street in Birmingham, or across town to Selma, or in Montgomery, which is not too far away, there are also some museums that are within, a nice little day trip on the weekend. And so I definitely want to make sure that sometime this year that I go visit a few of the African American museums.
See, once again, you making me feel bad because I ain't done much of none of that. I'm just gonna be honest with you. If he had interviewed me on the street, I probably would have. I feel like I haven't done enough. We celebrate. Some of the days. As far as like, some when things come up. People. We celebrate a little bit here and there, whether it's a day, but we never like. Of course, I didn't dive into really anything for this month. Didn't go to anything. Didn't go to any museums. So I just kind of feel like I haven't done enough, and maybe for the rest of the year that'll be my game plan. Is to visit a few more. I got kids now, so not like I haven't had them already, but but maybe I'll do that. I'll take my daughter to a museum to let her learn a little bit more about African American history, and so maybe I'll do that.
Well, I think you contribute because your baby girl was born in February, so you just added another Black queen princess for now, and then she'll be a queen in the future. So you contribute.
Yeah, ma'am.
You can. Congratulations. Did you want to share a little something for our audience about your bundle of joy? Her name,
Yeah. Yeah. So this I don't know if you guys remember last Tuesday. Tuesday was was a big thing because it was 2/22/22, which is the day she was born.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations. We were just talking about that. We were saying for the babies. So you're okay.
And so she was born at 11:09. And one of the things I will say, this is my second child, my second daughter. I came away from this experience just being like, and this is going to be my salute to women. I don't know how, for the women that do this alone, that are in the delivery room, that have these babies. I'm sure there's a lot of doctors and stuff in here and there, but once you pretty much have the baby, those people leave. You know what I mean? And if you don't have that support system, it doesn't have to be the father, but someone there to to help you with small things, a little bit of relief here and there, and then but for the women that have or have to do it on their own, I salute you, because it's definitely an experience that I don't think anyone should have to do alone. And I know last couple of years has been a little bit different with COVID, because they haven't allowed a lot of people in the hospital. Visitations is a little strange now, a little bit better than it was before, but still, I think about my first daughter, we had like everybody in the room, you know what I mean? Right after the delivery and stuff like that. And these times are definitely different, but just a shout out to all the women that I've had to kind of go it alone, and have been stronger forward. So I just want to salute them. That was just kind of my takeaway from that that whole experience.
Well, we thank you, and I'm gonna thank you for for majority of some women who had to go through it alone. So again, we definitely thank you for that. Childbirth, it's a blessing, and it is something that we need every day. So again, thank you for contributing to the Black History Month. Okay, because that's what you did. Now, for me, did I contribute anything to the Black History Month? Probably not, and most of all, because it was probably because the pandemic. And the pandemic is still going on. We got to get into that now because I saw something earlier this week, actually today, with the governor of Florida. He went to a school and he, how you go up there to talk and everything. And from the angle of the news station, they had about 5 young teenagers, men behind him, and they had on masks. And he just walked up and he said, "Take that mask off. That's just ridiculous. Y'all just walking around with that mask like a COVID theater." This grown man talking to some young teenagers. Okay, so they looking at him like, so majority of them started to took off their mask, and one of the black guy had on his mask and he stood and didn't budge, kept his mask on. Yes, sir. I get it that people who is boosted and non-booster, you took the mask off. I am going to respect you on that. Please respect me when you see me with my mask.
Yeah.
Okay. I just need them to respect me. I just don't need nobody to bother me. I'm not going to bother nobody. Don't bother me. I went to lunch with a friend a few weeks ago, and we were at the table talking, and I had my mask on, and she just stopped talking. She says, "So how long you going to sit there with your mask on?" Oh yeah, she did. She did. And this is what I said to her. Until I'm ready to take it off. And that's most likely when my drink and my food get to the table.
Yeah, like why are people concerned about, because you want to practice safety?
But then you get didn't you get the shot, don't you? Don't worry about that. That's not the concern. It's okay. So when you see me Christmas time with my mask, don't say nothing in 2023. I'm just saying. It's okay. Let me say that. It's okay.
I mean, that's still a huge gripe that it bothers people that I'm wearing my mask. Why would it bother me that you're walking around with your mask on?
Yeah.
That says something about you, that it bothers you that I'm wearing my mask, and that you're so angry that you're yelling at minors, somebody else's child, in public with an X, out here in Publix. Out here in public where the news media, other adults, teachers, educators are watching you, and you're supposed to be the adult setting the example. We're just talking about practicing safety. I mean, I want to say something else. I really do. But I'm going to yield for just a moment. I'm going to see if my filter works, because it doesn't always work. But I'm going to circle back in just a minute.
And you heard it from McKenna. Okay. Because she got a filter, but I think, yeah.
If this was a condom, I just had to ask the question, because we're talking about protection.
See, I wasn't going to go there.
Walking up in somebody's face talking about snatch it off. I'm just asking, because to me, it's the same concept of I'm protecting myself from a virus, right? Mm-hmm. We're just talking about a barrier of protection.
Right.
That's all we're talking about. And why are you so offended? Because I'm exercising my liberty, right? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, America, oh beautiful. Mm-hmm. It's offending you. How ignorant do you look yelling at a child for wearing a mask?
I was proud of the one who did not budge, stood up, head up high, and he was a black one, and he didn't budge. Exactly.
Earmuffs, McKenna. Earmuffs. Let me just say this real fast. Put your earmuffs on, McKenna. The state of Florida, we've known, has been different for a long time now, as we've seen from these, from these elections. The state of Florida is different, all the way around. Now,
y'all stealing elections and all. Right.
Right. Y'all got some nice places, some nice beaches and stuff like that, but y'all are a different place. So, when it came to this type of thing, around the country, people are probably like, "What's going on?" But this is Florida. Florida's a different place. It is a melting pot of people who are the influencers are not people who are probably not grown or Southern grown necessarily. They are very different, strong, opinionated people. They cool, but this political thing they got going on, it's a different place.
You know what? And let's take political out of it, because the fact is that these are teenagers, okay? And he reminded me of a Ken, okay? And it was just sad to see a grown man, like McKenna said, talking like that to these children.
Yep.
If that was his case, he should have told the school, okay, I'm gonna come. No one needs to have on masks, and give those teenagers, those young students, the decision if they want to be in the same room with him with or without a mask.
Right.
And I don't like it. I don't like people that are disrespectful. But then if one of those same young men that had said something that was considered disrespect to an adult, then you would hear a different story. I didn't like it at all. But he doesn't seem too happy. He don't like his life. He don't like himself. He probably don't even like his life. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he just mad about something. Karen probably ain't doing him right. Okay. I'm just saying. Okay. I'm just saying. I'm taking the filter off for McKenna. We lost her for a minute. But she'll be back. So, and hopefully when she come back, her filter's off. Because right now we're adults. My thing is that let people be.
Yeah.
We all have choices in this world.
Mm-hmm.
The same way I didn't play that game when when I say you got to put on that condom. I'm good, but no. You good. No, you ain't. No, you ain't. So it's the same thing with my mask on my face. I'm protecting myself. Okay, since you don't want to protect, I'm gonna protect mine.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. This is very interesting. I didn't know that people were actually going around chastising people for wearing a mask. I didn't know that was going on. Maybe I haven't been exposed enough because I don't go out nowhere, unfortunately. But
we just have, like I said, we just have to respect each other. For the ones who knows me, I am having a my milestone birthday party.
Okay.
And I had to think about it hard, and I had to think about, okay, and life goes on, and we got to get back to some type of normalcy. And I decided to do it, and I am fine with, right now I said maybe by that night I'll probably be okay.
Mm-hmm.
I might don't have on a mask, but right now I'm wearing a mask. That's all I can tell you right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm wearing a mask right now. Who knows? It might change then. You know what I'm saying? I might be 10 feet apart, but my thing is that to see how many lives were lost because of this virus, it's hard to just be like, okay, mask be gone.
Right.
It's hard to be mask be gone. So I'm okay with respecting people who don't have. Everybody don't have the same luck. I just look at that. So, but we'll get back to that. Like I said, we lost McKenna for a minute, but she'll be back. But just wanted to touch base. We definitely want to big up Dr. J from Victorious Radio, WAKP 89.1 FM. Excuse me. So want to big up Dr. J again. Also, we have a lot of stuff. We have a good amount of shows on the powerhouseradio.com. Okay. And also on WAKP 89.1 FM. So on Wednesday, of course, you got us. Let's Gripe 7 to 8. Okay. Thursday, we got the Kids Way 6 to 7. Also on Thursday, we have Reasoning Thursday with Lady Asset and Lady D. That's 8 to 9. Then on Saturday we have the gospel with Dr. Blair, 9 to 11. Then we have the Lady D show, 12 to 4. On Sunday we have Gospel Vibes with Dr. Delingo. That's 7 in the morning till 11 a.m. And then we have Hope Redemption Worship Center, which is at 11 o'clock to 1:30 p.m. And then, of course, Lady D, we have All About Love, Nothing But Love, 7 to 9. And that's Lady D and the crew. Okay. So you guys, we're getting there. You know what I'm saying? And we couldn't do it without our listeners and our supporters.
Yes.
So we definitely have to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Delilah? I hope I said your name right. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. We just try to come. We come here every Wednesday. And we talk about, sometimes, as McKenna was saying, we keep it positive and we have our gripes. It's not a bad thing. It's just like, sometimes you out and about and you just see something crazy. And if you're with your friends, you kind of know your friend and you look at each other to sideways, you know immediately what the other person is saying. And you kind of chuckle like, man, and when you get in the car and you talk about it. Yes, that's what Let's Gripe is about. We talk about things sometimes, me, Marcus, McKenna, sometimes we say things that people want to say, but they're afraid to say, but at the end of the day, we keep it positive and, we laugh, there's times we had water in our eyes sometimes, but we just keep it rolling as much as we can. So some topics we don't get to touch on, some we do, but Marcus, DJ Simon.
Yeah. Simon baby.
Simon, I remember when I moved to Georgia. Simon, baby.
Yeah.
Today he passed. He was battling stage 4. What is it? What is it?
Pancreatic cancer?
Yes. Yeah. Cancer.
Pancreas, yeah.
Yes. He lost his battle to that. But his cousin was also diagnosed last year, and they actually got together and they got together and they started a podcast because his also cousin had the same type of cancer as well. And I think it was cousins with cancer. I'm not sure the exact name, but they had a podcast. But his cousin passed away in December, and he passed away today. So again, our condolences to their family. We know that cancer diagnosis is hard, especially it is in the case that is caught. When you get the news about the stage 4, and it depends on what type of cancer it is, it's really not much they can do. But then there are people who are still living with stage 4. But it doesn't matter what stage it is. Cancer really sucks. And I had a family member that went through it last year, and I've known people who have went through it. But you know what? We just that's why we just have to live. We have to live every day to the fullest. We just have to do that, because if we don't do it, we're gonna not live to do it. In other words, because we don't know. We don't know what tomorrow's promised. We don't know what lies in our future. So again, definitely our condolences to Simon baby, his family, because they lost two family members within a few months apart. So definitely we gotta just keep living and have fun. We got to and keep loving. We gotta love on each other. Every week we talk about it. We just gotta love hard on each other and stop taking life for granted. Live it to the fullest. Okay. At 7:30 we're gonna do our commercial break, but what other McKenna, you're back. McKenna is back, y'all. So I kind of took some of your filter for you.
Okay, you did.
All right. So Delilah said, what time is it right now? We're at right here. Did I read it right? Okay, if I'm not sure if she's asking what time it is, where he is, but we're in Georgia and we're on Eastern time, so it's 7:26. I almost said Atlanta, but that rapper came out a couple weeks saying that if you live in Clayton County, you ain't living in Atlanta. If you're in Gwinnett County, you ain't living in Atlanta. So y'all, we in Georgia.
Can I touch on that for a quick second?
Yes, you can.
About this whole Atlanta thing.
Please do.
Here is why. Here is why it and keep in mind, I'm a person that I've lived in a few addresses in the Atlanta area. So this is why it kind of bothered me, because people in Atlanta, there's really only one part of Atlanta that people consider Atlanta. You know what I mean? Because Buckhead is in Atlanta, according to, the police department who services that city, right? So it would appear to me that only one part of Atlanta is really Atlanta, which is the west side or southwest side is really Atlanta. Everything else is just, I don't know what they consider it as. But as one person said, places like, Clayco and, East Point, College Park, those are the people that kind of put Atlanta on the map. Atlanta, for the city itself, we have, of course, Atlanta has its own thing. But if you're talking about like famous people and stuff like that, then you look to places like East Point and College Park, and probably Decatur too. They kind of put Atlanta on the map. So, like I said before, this whole Atlanta, it really only talk about one part of Atlanta, which in the year, was it 2022? Atlanta ain't even Atlanta no more. But I digress on all of that. So
well, after you digress on all of that, Delilah was basically saying that all we have right now is this moment right now. And you are so right, Delilah. Thank you so much for clarifying that for us. We're doing the show and reading at the same time, but I'm glad you clarified that. Thank you so much. Hey guys, you could do what Delilah is doing too. What she's doing, she's actually doing the chat through either Facebook or the Powerhouse Radio / Let's Gripe. So that's where she's at right now. So you can also chat with us if you don't, if you want something to say or make a comment, you can definitely go ahead and say it. So we're going to go ahead and take our station break. So give us a moment and we'll be right back.
You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean.
Victorious 89.1 WAKP.
Your unity in the community station.
The Hinkson Firm's mission is to provide superior legal service in the areas of family law, child welfare law, general legal services, and mediation by keeping convenience of the client at the forefront. The Hinkson Firm's goal is to eliminate the stress of an already intense situation in your life by coming directly to your workplace and or a location close to your home for consultation, meetings, and mediation. The Hinkson Firm customizes legal attention based on the needs of each client while treating every client with the dignity and respect they deserve, while fighting strongly and fiercely for justice and their legal rights. The Hinkson Firm can be reached at 470-499-4704.
You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean.
WAKP. Victorious 89.1.
Your unity in the community station.
All right, so we're back, guys. So, McKenna.
TONIA.
Because we lost you for a minute, so I had just wanted to see, did you get the filter off, or are we just gonna move on for a minute and two?
Yeah, I think we can just move on for a minute. But I just, was very distraught when I heard about the actions of adults, especially around children. We are supposed to set an example, and if we are in a position of not even just authority, but if we are representing freedom of speech and we're representing a democracy because we're an elected official, then we should act as an elected official and represent all of the people. And there are going to be people that disagree with you as a politician, as a person, as an adult. And we need to show what that looks like because it's always appropriate to be respectful to someone. And I think that's something that we could do a better job of these days here in America about just being respectful one to another.
You said it perfectly. And on that note, did you guys hear that the House passes the bill for making lynching a federal hate crime? Yes, 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 and yes.
That's very significant. I will say that there was a Republican from Georgia who voted against it.
Of course.
Yes, understand that.
And their logic was, well, we already have laws against hate crimes.
Okay.
I'm gonna just leave that right there.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave that right there. Like you couldn't even stretch your mind to even understand the significance and the relevance of passing this particular law. Because maybe since so many books have been banned, maybe you're not abreast of the history of lynching. And so maybe it just didn't make any sense to you. But I'm sure that there's a book out there on the ban list that you can go back and read. There are movies that you can go back and watch that might help bring you up to speed on why this is important to some of our communities.
Mississippi burning. I'm just saying.
Yep.
Now, one time, even the new babies, they had to see Mississippi burning. Or walked in the room while their parents was watching Mississippi burn.
I mean, maybe not. We are in the moment of Disney. So
Oh, Disney. Just keep the channel on Disney.
And the Marvel universe.
Right.
Okay.
Because I don't know if you guys knew, but every year here, I know here in Atlanta, we watch Shaka Zulu every year when it came on TBS. Of course, shows like that are no longer, running on yearly and stuff like that.
Right. They only actually run them on the black channels like TV One and BET. You're right. And it's very important, like you said, because now that they've taken out even these out of the history class, like they're pretty much trying to not even rewrite history. They're just acting like, okay, when it's 2022 now. Okay, that was 1968. But you're right. But you know what? Guess what? I don't know. For some reason, I'm feeling like some of the folks from Atlanta thinking that it was John Lewis and Hank Aaron that had the Braves winning. And even with this law, I think this John Lewis, he has something to do with it. That angel over there, because look how long they've been trying to get that bill passed. I'm saying, John Lewis and even McCain, they was over there, them angels over there in that Capitol building, y'all. I'm just saying.
I mean, what's crazy about it is that we're in the year, again, 2022, and we're just now recognizing that this is a hate crime. You know what I mean?
You put a pause right there. We're saying it out loud. Like we're really calling attention to the fact that this has been and is a hate crime.
Yeah.
So now justice will be served down. It will be served. Definitely start speaking with Ahmaud Arbery with his case. So it's a start. We still have a lot of work to do, but it's a start because now you will be held accountable. You will be held accountable. And that bill was named after who? Emmett Till. Yes, it was.
Mm-hmm.
It was named after him. So yes, kudos to the Congress folks that we elected and the ones we didn't for passing this bill. Now
Right.
those two who didn't, I hope their kids marry some black folks. I'm just saying.
They probably have a grandchild somewhere that
That has some blackums in them.
I'm just
Yes, I hope
saying.
they marry
We're
somebody
we're a
black.
melting pot these days, and America's very beige. America is very beige. I'm
Exactly.
just saying.
Yeah.
It's
So I
very
hope you get
beige.
some. Yes, I need to see once I believe once they get grandchildren involved, they don't see colors anymore. That's the only thing, if you notice, because there are some people. Now there are some that don't even have anything to do with their grandchildren that out the race. We know that there's some out there, but again, that's their loss. But yeah, those two, they could go sit down because we got the bill passed. And again, definitely to all the you know people that has lost their life through lynching. Again, this is definitely for you. So
And the thing about that piece is, I know we've talked about this a little bit in the past. There is somebody somewhere who has an immediate family member, like a great grandfather or a grandfather, somebody who's sitting around talking about the history of how this has impacted their family. We don't really spend a lot of time talking about it, but there's somebody who remembers, Uncle so and so or cousin so and so who disappeared, or who went to jail, for walking on the sidewalk. I mean, I was watching a little bit of PBS this weekend, and they were talking about the chain gangs and how they used to just, arrest black men for vagrancy, just basically being on the sidewalk, and then take them to prison, and how these men built roads and bridges and helped develop communities, and this basically was free labor. Parts of history that we use these terms, but we don't really remember the context of them. And so I just kind of sat there, not in shock, but just in in just this deep, solemn place, just having to listen and remember and be connected to, how not just disenfranchised, but how disrespected and dehumanized we were as a people. And watching that, it creates a little bit of anger. And I think sometimes as a people, we don't want to connect to that emotion. And so I know even myself, sometimes during Black History Month, I don't want to go back and watch something like a Mississippi Burning or a Roots, or even the Emmett Till movie that came out, because what happens is you sit there in that moment and you experience the culture on a level that you can be oblivious on in your real life, in your day-to-day life. But your ancestors are talking to you and they're saying, hey, McKenna, this is what we went through so that you can enjoy cable television, and, you can vote by mail, and you can buy whatever kind of car I mean, there are people that our grandparents and our great grandparents and our ancestors, they really did sacrifice. And I think that when we don't take the time to watch the movie or read the article, or read the book or go to the museum, we disconnect ourselves from our past. And then we contribute to the devaluation of the richness of the past. And when you watch things like that, just for me personally, it just kind of motivates me to want to learn more, to want to go to a museum at least once or twice this year, to make sure that when I have an opportunity, I can encourage somebody to participate in a process or do the right thing, or follow your dream because that opportunity is available to you, to do well in school because education wasn't always available or accessible. Please read something other than the screen on the TikTok video, because there were people who had to learn how to read in secret, and if they were caught reading or caught being a learned Negro, there were consequences and repercussions. So I think that we do ourselves a disservice when we don't take the time to immerse ourselves in a little bit of our culture on a regular basis.
well said, McKenna. Well said. We also got to shout out Coverton, Monticello, Augusta, McDonough, and Monroe.
AUG.
Okay. Hey, and also Jonesboro. So I mean, guys, wherever you can, and if you're listening on WAKP 89.1 FM, you can also let us know if you're in another city and if you're getting good reception, you can hear us. Let us know so we can shout your city out. But again, we got to definitely give a big shout out to Dr. J at Victorious Radio. So guys, also, so I don't know, we're going to the reality side of it now. We're going to go to reality, the reality show. So you remember Delicious from Flavor Flav?
Flavor of Love. Yep.
Flavor of Love. Okay, so remember she got very she became a celebrity. Okay,
Yeah. Well
she
deserved.
yeah. You you had a crush on her?
Oh yeah. From the first moment I saw her on the show. Because she was very nurturing on the show. Like, you know,
Yeah.
even the other women, you know, she was kind of like taking care of, you know, like the mom of the
Yeah.
show. So that's what kind of made me, you know.
And she was attractive and natural. That's the time. That was the era when you had all natural women,
Yeah.
y'all.
And that too, yeah.
So she got married back in what 2019. Well, was it 2019? I think it was actually 2020. She got married in 2020, but she married one of the Central Park Five.
Correct.
Okay, yeah, McKenna, she did. She married one of the Central, you know, the 5-pack. Anywho, so they have been married for about 20 months, and he has filed for divorce. Yes, I know. And they had that big wedding during the COVID. Yes, in 2020. You know, COVID was for real then. You know, 2020 was kind of like, okay, we're going to sit over here for a little 2 seconds. But yes, he filed for divorce yesterday. So before he actually, TMZ got a whim of it. So she went on social media. She was like, y'all, he's nothing but a narcissist and a liar and a cheater. I'm gonna tell my story, right? What Marcus?
I just wonder what was his life like, because even though some of these gentlemen were already out and kind of carrying on life as much as they could possible, before the documentary, the public eye didn't know them as well. So I'm sure their life changed dramatically from when the documentary was released until, kind of that point right there. And then for him to meet and marry a woman such as Alicia, she has a huge following. Everybody
and it's pretty
knows.
much knows friends with celebrities. I think, didn't she dated is it Ezra Elba? I think she dated him.
Oh,
I think I read she did. I'm gonna go back and check on that, but I think she did.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. But my point is kind of like, a lot of times what happens, I'm not sure about in this relationship, because I was just talking to somebody else about this. I was just looking at something. Is that you'll have people who may not have been getting, especially, I'll just talk about the men, especially the men is really happened to them a lot. You have a situation in which they're not getting a lot of attention from women. And so even the one woman that they do like or that likes them, they commit to them and be with them, but they come to find out that it's a lot of other women that pay them attention, and they aren't used to that attention.
Okay.
And they nose start to get a little bit open. You know what I mean? They start to kind of wondering and trying to figure out about these other women. And that could have been the situation that was going on. Maybe he didn't get past what's the best way to put this? His phase. I'm just gonna say his phase. Maybe he didn't get past that yet before he settled down and married her. Because like I said before, I think like a lot of the fame and notoriety was new to a lot of them. And so maybe that went to his head. And then plus, women are, hey, look, you married Delicious. It must be something about him. Let me find out.
Oh, now you're letting out some of the secret. McKenna, you see that?
Yeah, I did see that. But what did she say it was? She said that he was narcissistic and...
Yeah, she was like, and a liar and a cheat. But you know what? Lately, I've been hearing that word, narcissist, especially with the men.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of it too.
McKenna, do you know anything about that? Can you break it down for us, please?
I mean, we endured 4 years of it as a country. Somebody who was always right, whose opinion was the opinion, who was never wrong, who everybody was talking about them, who a person who is only interested in, you heard of WIFM, what's in it for me? And it's difficult to navigate in a relationship when the other person doesn't really have any genuine interest in meeting the needs that you have. It's always some kind of spin where it's all about the needs that they have. And so that's an example of what it would look like in a narcissistic relationship where I'm trying to do my best to love you, but it doesn't matter what it is because everything is always about you. And even when, I show you all of these things that we could achieve and accomplish if you could focus on the we and not on the I, there's something about you that's constitutionally incapable of doing it. And instead of owning whatever that truth is, you're still in this immature phase of there's a lie to explain it. When all I did was ask you for the truth, but because you lack the maturity, you can't even tell the truth. And so now I'm frustrated that you're lying, and then you're going to make that lie all about you some kind of way. You're going to turn it and spin it, and it's going to be all about you, and I'm still the bad guy. And it's hard to grow in that type of relationship. And what happens is you get exhausted, and then you just tap out and say, you got it. I'm the bad guy. You're the good guy. You got it. Hey, you win, I lose. The end. And now we have nothing to argue about because you're I just gave you permission to be right because you're always right anyways. No matter what it is, you'll find a way to spin it and make it about you. And there's something very unhealthy about it. And then the lies and the manipulation, even Mary talked about this in her recent song, and some of the interviews that she's done about how that abuse, it just peels back the core of who you are. And you get to this place where you don't even recognize yourself in the mirror because this person has you so emotionally battered. And if you've never been with a narcissist or a pathological liar or a manipulator, it's hard to understand what that looks like every day. It's different when somebody's joking around and they're just having a I'm different moment or I'm cute moment. But when they're constantly always operating in a method that is always about them, you're invisible because there's nothing that you can do that's good enough. So I don't know how much of that she actually experienced, or sometimes we use words out of context. But if you are with a narcissist, it's going to be difficult for that relationship to last because it's always going to implode.
McKenna, she said it because I read up on it. And what McKenna said pretty much is what I've read. Also, remember Kim Kardashian? She dealt with that with Mr. West. And today, because she actually literally went to court and she's like, Your Honor, please declare me single, please, until our divorce is final. And, he was doing all that ranting and raving on Instagram for a minute with the whole with her and Pete. Then when he gets to court, he can talk about he trying to get the judge not to see all those posts when he was ranting and raving, carrying all he want his family and Pete this and Pete that. Guess what? Today, she was declared single.
Hold on now. I just had a quick question about what you mean you can be declared single but not divorced?
You know how they have legal separation?
So that's all it basically is?
I think basically that's what it is.
Also, they live in California.
And California a little different than over here. California right over there on the Pacific.
I'm just saying they live in California. So we're
they got a little different stuff. Yeah. But I think it's legal separation.
Okay. I was just wondering.
I think that's what it boils down because even in Georgia, even if you separate from your husband or your wife and you move out and everything, and you have to file a legal separation until your divorce is final.
And I also think it's probably some kind of legal pivoting, so he can't turn around and sue her for infidelity because she technically has this boyfriend that she's out here parading with.
That too, and also the money that she's gonna earn now as well.
Mm-hmm.
So she gets to. Yeah, they were saying something about she gets to drop her name. Yeah, she gets to drop the West and she can use her name. But I think it also has some financial liability on it too, that the money that she makes at this time and he makes, they're not entitled to it. I think that's probably one of the things too. And that's why Georgia is a state that requires you to get a legal separation until your divorce is final as well, or you decide to file a divorce.
And I would say Mr. West did it to himself in the sense that he was constitutionally unable to stay off social media and have several seats. Like, be quiet, stop ranting, hush. I
wanted them to, like, I wanted God to, like, bring his mom back into the angel form so she could just tell him to rest his head on her shoulder. Because, I mean, it just felt like he was having this mental breakdown. It was just like on Instagram. I saw that and I was just like, oh my goodness, I feel so bad that his mom is not here. You know, because I've seen
him like this over the years. This is not a new version.
But he wasn't this bad when his mom was here.
Well, yeah, but I mean, his mom's been gone for a while though.
Yeah, but I'm thinking if maybe she was his, especially them grandbabies, she probably would have tried her best to kind of, you know.
But Tony, you are who you are until you're somebody different. And so Kanye or Ye is who he is until he becomes somebody different. And so we've seen this, and so we don't take, it's just kind of like, we don't take the creativity away from him because we know he's a musician and an artist and he can create things. But as a man, as an individual, as a husband, as a father, as a person, as a friend, he has this layer of himself that he can't keep together long enough to not go on Instagram and rant and rave and spin out of control, or show up with a whole truck of flowers to a woman who's clearly said, stay away from me, dude, I'm done. We have tapped out, I have moved on. Who's showing up at a birthday party who he wasn't invited to. And if you knew she wasn't gonna invite you to it, it's okay. Spend the birthday on a different day. Kids like to celebrate more than one day. I promise you, if you would have decided to have a party on the following Wednesday, your child and the friends would have come and had a good time.
Well, hold on, McKenna. Now, was it his kid's birthday?
Yes, it was one. Yeah, it's one of them. I think it was Chicago birthday.
That's a sticky situation because we got to communicate about that. You can't just be having a party.
Okay, but remember, we're talking about Kanye. What you going to communicate about?
Well, we're also talking, but the other piece is, MJ, and I don't disagree about the communication, but you also didn't just meet this Kardashian woman. And the Kardashian, did I say clan last time? I need another word.
That's what they call it, the Kardashian clan.
With a K. You also didn't just meet them, right? So you should have had somebody in your ear that says, you know, they're going to have this party without you. And you should have been like, oh, okay, well, let them have it, and not said a word. I think he would have been more influential if he would have been quiet this whole time and silent and distant and unengaging and acted like, you know what, you can be single and not picked up the phone and called and checked, and not to be a bad parent, but just to create some space, not checked on any of them.
But remember when they first separated, he blocked Kim. Like, she had to go through his team to set up whatever it is for the kids and whatever. So he started off rough and hard, and now you begging and pleading for her. He want his family back. Now that looked like it's more than emotional draining. Okay, that looked like it's just like, what have I done? Madonna got the 3 laughing face. It's ridiculous though. It's
question.
Answer.
So after she's finished with this boyfriend, do you think Kim will have another set of children?
No.
By her next millionaire husband?
I think she said the 4 was enough. I think, and I don't know. I think
they got 4 kids.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
They have 4.
Because I think she had 2 natural and 2 surrogates.
Right. And I think all of the eggs that she had, I think they're done. I think they were done. I think she only had those 2 left.
Yeah, I'm out of the loop on that one.
Yeah, but I don't think she'll have any more children. However, do I think that she would get married again? I think she will.
2 more times, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. Every time she gets married, she makes more money.
Absolutely. So she'll get married twice because she's still, late 30s? Is that where she is now in her age?
Yes.
30s? Yeah.
Did she have,
So yeah, she's got to have this 40-year-old husband, and then she'll get married again in her 50s, and yeah,
Yep.
and
Right.
I'm fine with that. I mean, it's none of my business, but I'm fine with it.
Well, they made a legacy, generational wealth through that. So hey, I'm just saying. But I am still where I am puzzled. Because when I was reading on the narcissist part of it, they was also saying that it also, the medical term is bipolar. Some is schizophrenic. Some of them have both.
So there are different disorders. So you can be narcissistic and not be bipolar. You can just have narcissistic personality disorder and not be bipolar.
Okay.
Kanye appears to be bipolar, and that's evidenced by his rapid swings. He'll be high, he'll be low, and he's unable to manage when he's in an episode. When he has his manic episode, there's nothing you can do but let him spiral out until he finishes. And there probably are people close to him that have really seen it, what it really, really looks like. We just get the Instagram part of it, but it probably looks very unhealthy up close and personal.
Also, remember when he went on the stage when Taylor Swift won the award? Like, who does that?
Not well people who aren't all the way well.
I'm just saying.
He
went up there and was like, nah, no disrespect, but this should go to, B. I mean, I was like, what?
But yeah,
Did he think she was going to say, okay, yeah, here, B? Did he thought she was going to do that?
Or even what he said about President Bush.
I missed that. What he said?
You missed that?
Yeah.
Oh,
maybe our listeners missed it too.
Oh no! Well, he went on there and he was like, he's real nervous. He just said George Bush doesn't like black people.
Oh, but Trump
yeah,
do.
I remember that. Yeah.
But Trump do.
Listen,
look,
where he didn't even want a black accountants to count his money.
How does your whole accounting firm quit you? I mean, that's a whole different situation. But your whole accounting team, they quit you. They've been with you for years and they quit you. They just said, we are no longer, in a position to be able to provide the service for you. What does that say? When your whole accounting team quits you.
I guess we're going to have to just leave it like that with the It's 7:59, y'all. You see how time go fast?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we really appreciate you hanging out with us this evening. We hope that you have enjoyed the show. A birthday shout out to my cousin Jay, my homie Greg, and I'm missing somebody. I have to get back next week. There's somebody else in March, but those two came to my mind.
But the listeners who are listening, if you're celebrating a birthday today, this week, even last week, happy birthday, happy belated birthday. And if you're going to celebrate a birthday this weekend, happy birthday when it comes. And anyone that has added a new bundle of joy to their family, congratulations for the graduates that's coming up. We just going to celebrate. We're not going to sit up here and mope and just think about all the negative stuff. We just got to smile. And my motto is you got to live, love, and laugh. And McKenna, tell them what is my logo? What is my logo?
Which one?
The 4-letter one.
The love one?
Okay, I'm going to have to remind her and remind our listeners and welcome our new listeners. YOLO.
Oh, that one.
Only
Okay.
live once. And when I'm ready, you know what I do, guys? I will order me a cake. And they be like, what you want to put on it? YOLO. Yes, don't live like, I want some cake. I don't need no extra. I don't need nothing. Yeah, so on that note, live your life to the fullest. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place, 7 to 8 at the powerhouseradio.com and on WAKP 89.1 FM. saying tune out. Good night. This is Tonya.
This is McKenna. Good night.
And this is MG. Y'all have a great one.
If you're on your phone, let's gripe, baby.
Driving home and you're feeling kinda tired. Hey, radio play the same thing every day, so you need a little switch in your life. Traffic got you jammed up every night. Tune in to Powerhouse. Wednesday 7 to 9, you need to check them out. I promise I ain't trying to hype, but one good listen tonight, it might change your life. So what's the name of the show? You need something to just ride to on the go, or you might be home, so log on. You can even dial in on your phone. I promise that you're gonna love it. Just try it one time, it'll blow your mind. Now I'ma say it just one more time. Every Wednesday from 7 to 9. Let's gripe.